Hello my fellow RuneScape enjoyers, my name is Salty Horse, and today I'm going to bring you a simplified Zulrah guide. I'm just going to talk over my gameplay and offer up a couple of tips and tricks to make this boss a little bit more simple. There are a couple of mechanics that are involved, but believe me, if a noob like me can beat it, then so can you. So, first of all, you're going to need your best mage and range gear. You're going to need a prayer pot and an anti-poison. You're going to need food, of course. I'd recommend double eats, so bring your karam ones. And you're going to need a ring of recoil. The ring of recoil is going to help us with ignoring the little serpents that will be spawned throughout the fight. So if you have a ring of recoil, you can completely ignore them, so I suggest you do so. We're going to do a quick run through here of all his phases. This is his range phase, and you're going to hit with magic. If you take note, he's firing some poison shrouds on the ground. We're going to have to avoid them. I'll tell you more about it when I do the full fight, but this is just a little overview. This is his melee phase. You don't need to protect from melee. You just need to take note of which way he's facing and don't stand there. You can simply run to the left or right and you can avoid his attacks completely. So if you've noticed the shrouds have dissipated, that means it's time to make our way over to the other side of the map. Taking note of what phase he's in, the blue is magic, so we protect from magic and we fire our range. This is range, so we protect from range and fire our magic. Now if you've noticed the shrouds aren't on this side, that means that when they dissipate, we're going to make our way to the other side. Okay, now we've covered some basics, let's go ahead and do the full fight. We need to get to Zulrah, and that's easy enough. There's a couple of methods. I'm using the BJS Fairy Teleport. But to do so, you also need level 76 agility. If you don't have that, don't worry. You can buy Zulrah teleports from GE, or you can use charter ships. Zulrah is weak to fire, so before we jump into the fight, make sure you have your best fire spell set to autocast. Okay, personally, I'm terrible at prayer switching. To make that a little bit easier on myself, I've gone and pre-selected a couple of prayers. He always attacks with range first, so I've opted for protection from missiles and mystic might. I'm an old man, so before we get into this fight, we need to warm up. We don't want to be hurting ourselves, since we will be running from one end of Zulrah's island to the other to avoid his poisonous shrouds. So once you're all warmed up, jump on the ship and get started. When starting the fight, he's always going to be in range form. So protect from range, make your way over to this corner, and fire your spells. You're always going to be in this corner, noting that his venomous shrouds can't hit us here. If you get hit by the venomous shrouds, you're going to take a lot of damage. This is his melee form, so make sure that you're dodging his tail. He's going to pick a way that he's facing. Once he picks that direction, dodge away from it. If you don't dodge it, you're going to get stunned. Okay, now the venom has dispersed, we make our way to the other side. Every time he submerges, he can come up in a different form. You just have to hover over your prayers and pray accordingly. This is range form, it's his green form. Protect from range, hit him with magic. I would recommend switching your prayers before you're switching your gear, since you don't want to take unnecessary damage. He's submerging, he's coming up in blue form, which is his magic form. Switch your prayers, switch your equipment, and do as much damage as you can. If you're noting that the little serpents around me are getting killed from the ring of recoil, making the fight a lot easier. Now, this is a very scuffed run. I'm a bit of a noob, and I'm taking a lot of unnecessary damage. I use this clip because I wanted to showcase you can make mistakes and still get a kill. So don't be disheartened if you're taking damage or even die. One of the mechanics of the Zulrah fight is you get 50 kills before you have to pay for your equipment back. So don't be afraid to die, give it a go. It could take some getting used to, but don't be disheartened. If a noob like me can beat Zulrah, then so can you. Do your best to switch prayers and do damage while you're running from each side of the map to avoid the venomous shrouds. The last thing I will say is, when he's low health, he will go into a berserk phase, meaning that even though he's range or mage, he can hit with both styles. So if you take note, he comes up in range form here, He fires one range attack, and then he starts firing magic at me. Since it's off prayer, you can do some big damage here. Just take note of your HP, be ready to eat, and you'll be killing Zulrah in no time. Hopefully this helped anyone without runelite. If it did, leave me a like. I'm thinking of making a Royal Titans guide next. Good luck, guys.